I am filming from outside today because it's a beautiful day here in northern Canada. I wanted to talk to you a little bit today about an issue that comes up quite often. I hear, and I also know statistically, that a lot of emergency room visits are related to anxiety. When I say this, I mean that a lot of the time people end up in emergency or they seek medical attention for symptoms that are physical symptoms of anxiety kind of manifesting themselves in their body. And quite common things that people think are happening are that they're experiencing like a heart attack, a stroke, some type of paralysis, or other just kind of less severe symptoms of illness, nausea, or like a flu. I wanted to list off some of the physical symptoms that can happen when we feel anxious that might be mistaken for like an actual physical illness or ailment, because I want to highlight that huge connection we have between our mind and our body and the importance of mindfulness and checking in with our body to say, hey, I'm not feeling so hot right now. Is this connected to maybe a negative thought that I'm having or something that has triggered some anxiety for me? This is also linked to another video, which I'm going to put the link to below, but it's my video on kind of the vicious cycle of anxiety. Without further ado, here is my list. The first one is numbness and tingling. Numbness and tingling quite often are mistaken for something else going on, but these are often really connected to anxiety. So anxiety is a nervous system response. Numbness and tingling, like I know sometimes when I'm anxious, I get numbness in my feet. And I used to be really concerned by that. And I have since realized that that is actually an anxious response. So I will engage in like a breathing exercise, a meditation, whatever it may be to help me calm down, or even go for a walk just to engage my feet. The next one is dizziness. So just feeling kind of disoriented, dizzy. The adrenaline in our bodies can cause that. Number 3 is headaches. This is a really good one for just making sure that you hydrate yourself, drink some water. When your body's overwhelmed, you get headaches. A huge one, and the main one I would say that causes emergency room visits, is chest pain. So often if we have anxiety, we have chest pain. The best way to deal with this is to do diaphragmatic breathing, and so I show you that in another video, my body scan video. But diaphragmatic breathing is basically where we breathe really deep in for 5 seconds into our diaphragm, and then we breathe out for 5 seconds. And I would say if you're having a panic reaction or an anxiety response, do that for 10 to 15 minutes to calm yourself down. The reason that it's a huge emergency room trip for people is they often think they're having a heart attack. And the other one that goes along with chest pain is not being able to breathe or having difficulty breathing. Stomach upset, nausea, goes alongside with anxiety. It doesn't necessarily mean you're sick or unwell. It just means that you might be dealing with some adrenaline in your body and your stress hormones as well. Pulsating in the ears is another one that comes up for people. Neck tension or muscle tension, so feeling really stiff in your joints or muscles. Again, this is kind of your fight or flight reaction, so it's your body's post fight or flight kind of symptoms kicking in. It's that muscle rigidity and feeling like we don't have our full range of motion. Weakness in your muscles kind of goes along with that too, and sometimes also muscle shaking or twitching. I know for me, I'm a big muscle twitcher when I feel kind of anxious, and it doesn't necessarily mean that anything is weird or wrong with you. It's a normal human reaction to that anxious response in your body. Restlessness kind of goes along with that as well. So being restless, not able to kind of calm down or relax, just feeling like something bad might happen. So like that kind of feeling of impending doom, some people call it. And the other one is sleep problems. So like anxiety, whether or not we're aware that we're anxious sometimes, can cause us to have really bad sleep problems, to not sleep, to be kind of before bed really having those anxious thoughts. And then when we're tired, we also have physical symptoms in our bodies. So we can feel really unwell just due to being tired and not having slept because of having kind of these anxious thoughts all night. Another really common one, heart palpitations, so your heart's beating faster because, again, of the adrenaline rush going through your body when you feel anxious. This also can cause shortness of breath, so it feels like you can't catch a breath or you can't breathe. But I'm telling you, you can. You just have to really engage in that diaphragmatic breathing that I talked about. So really having those deep breaths in through your nose and deep breaths out until you're able to kind of calm down that response in your body of your stress hormones taking over and that fight or flight reaction that you're having. Other ones that can happen that aren't always as frequent are feelings like kind of like you're being zapped or just being really irritable related to anger. There's also a lot of evidence about anxiety being connected to sort of sometimes chronic pain or making certain types of pain feel worse. So if we're chronically stressed over a long period of time, we can see that there's so many effects on our body, and it's not just our mind that suffers. Our mind and our body are really intertwined and really interconnected, which is why I created my free ebook and my courses on mindfulness and helping you really engage with your calming mind and learning how to self-soothe your body. Because long-term, the chronic effects of stress and anxiety can be really detrimental to our overall health and well-being. So if you want to check those out, I will attach the links below, and please sign up and get started on your courses with me today. Thanks for watching, you guys, and I will see you next week.